Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be counting down my top 10 favourite LEGO Disney minifigures. As usual with these types of lists, this is purely in my own opinion. So feel free to, before this video starts, leave a comment of your favourites. But now that's out the way, let's get started. So kicking this list off is a classic, and that is Donald Duck. This version depicts him wearing his classic sailor style shirt and hat. This minifig was first seen in 2016 in the Series 1 of the Disney CMF series, but was also seen later that year in the enormous Disney Castle. I think the team at LEGO did a great job picking the perfect shades of each colour, from the navy blue to the yellow cuffs of his shirt. He was also a standout minifig of Series 1 of the Disney CMF series, largely thanks to his head and hat mould, which were then repurposed for the Daisy minifig, or at least the head was. But in at number 9 we have the grayscale Minnie Mouse, and she was exclusively seen in the 2019 LEGO Idea set Steamboat Willie. This version of Minnie is based off the very first cartoon in which Mickey and Minnie Mouse were featured, and that was titled Steamboat Willie, and that was released way back in November of 1928. I was torn between picking Mickey or Minnie Mouse from this set because they're both so similar, but I ultimately went with Minnie because I love her shiny skirt piece. Unfortunately, when the Disney CMF Series 2 was released, just a month after the Steamboat Willie set had hit the shelves, included in that series was a very similar looking grayscale Mickey and Minnie. Yes, they are slightly different, they come with accessories in the CMF series, and the shade of grey is slightly different, but it is disappointing to see two very similar minifigs being released just a month apart. The CMF series Minnie has also definitely made Minnie from the set much less sought after. Next at number 8 we have Buzz Lightyear, but the 2010 version. The first set he was seen in was, I believe, the Woody and Buzz to the Rescue set, which, quick side note, Woody's legs are awful. But anyway, I chose this variant of Buzz over the newer one, because I much prefer his dedicated head mould. I'm not sure why they did away with that. But also, the wing piece mould hasn't changed since this version, and that is because it's just perfect. But I'd love to know, which version of Buzz do you prefer, the original or the newer one? Let me know in the comments. But in at number 7 we have Mickey Mouse, but the tuxedo variant. This minifig came exclusively in the direct-to-consumer set, the Disney Castle, which was released in 2016. This is such a great looking minifigure. His torso printing looks amazing, it looks so clean and has the perfect amount of detailing. And also to tie in with the tuxedo torso printing is the tailcoat, which can be seen from his back. The head mould wasn't new for this set. It was first seen just a few months prior to the release of the Disney Castle in the Disney CMF Series 1. Next at number 6 we have Captain Hook, who premiered in the Disney CMF Series 1, which again was released back in 2016. And to this date, this has been the only LEGO Captain Hook minifig to be released. That is if you exclude Duplo. I chose him because he comes with a very nice looking hat, and if you are wondering, the hair is moulded as part of the hat. The printing on his body is kind of minimal, but I like how it seamlessly transitions between each piece. And to top it all off, he comes with a hook for a hand, which most likely has been seen before, but it doesn't happen often. In at number 5 we have Scrooge McDuck, and he was first seen in 2019, and has only ever been in the Disney CMF Series 2. And looking at Series 2, he is one of the standouts, the highlights of this series. He is a completely new head mould, different from Donald's and Daisy's. and he comes topped off, literally, with a nice top hat. Something I also like is his accessories, especially the coin. It has the year 1875 on it, and that does have meaning. It's actually the lucky dime, which was first featured in the third installment of the Uncle Scrooge comics, which was released back in September of 1953. Next at number 4 we have Hercules. He, like Scrooge, was featured in the Disney CMF Series 2 in 2019. He comes with a completely new and different hair mould, which also incorporates the red band into it. He comes equipped with 2 accessories, a sword, and this really nice golden Zeus printed shield. One last thing to note about this minifig is that his dark blue cape matches up with the hooks or clips, I guess you could call them, which are printed into his torso. Now moving into the top 3, we have Jack Skellington, and once again he was included in Series 2 of the Disney CMF series. And where do I start with this one? His head printing looks great. I'm glad I didn't opt in for a new head mould because the classic one works just fine. I love the large bat piece, which I guess is his bow tie, but regardless, that looks very nice. Oh, and the torso and leg printing, wow. I don't know what it is, it might be the contrast between the black and white which makes this minifig look so stunning. But they didn't stop there with the amazing printing. This rather large present accessory has some nice abstract black and white printing on it also. I could talk for hours about how much I like this minifig, but instead let's move on to number 2. And in at number 2 we have Goofy, and he was released in the 2019 Disney Train and Station set. Now Goofy was the centre of attention after the Disney CMF Series 1 dropped, and that was because he wasn't included. That sparked this whole theory of a Series 2 because Goofy is such a classic character. Well, a few years later we did get Series 2, and once again he was nowhere to be seen. But thankfully, that September we got the Disney Train and Station set, and included in that was Goofy. And like I said at the beginning of this video with Donald, the team at LEGO did a great job picking each shade of colour out, from the blue to the orange to the yellow overcoat. Goofy also came with a brand new head mould, which looks great. This minifig doesn't have overly detailed printing, but in a way, I think that works for this character. And now finally at number 1, we have Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. She was released in 2019 in the Disney CMF Series 2. And like the Jack Skellington minifig, where do I start with this one? She's such a unique looking minifigure, and I think that's largely down to the fact that she's got this new washed out green skin tone. She's also covered in these sewing or stitching marks, and the idea is that they're holding her together. She's covered in lots of different patterns, which represent the fact that she's made using lots of different fabrics. And that probably sounds really weird if you haven't seen the movie, but basically the Sally character was created by a scientist called Dr. Finkelstein. But there we have it, that is my top 10 favourite LEGO Disney minifigures. As I said at the beginning, this list was in my own opinion, so feel free to leave a comment letting me know your version of this list. But I'd really appreciate it if you did consider subscribing, as well as leaving a like on this video. But that is going to do it for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.